bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.
Yo, Chico, expose these clowns.
Welcome. I see people are waiting for me to show up before they come in. I see Chanel was in there for a second. Brenda was in here for a second. Jackson, what's going on? Welcome. Walter, what's going on? As you can see on top, I'm getting better as it get improving as we go along. The first 5 minutes will be Rep Your City. Let me go ahead and get that time started. And Lysandra, what's going on? Welcome. Do me a favor, hit that share, like. And while we are repping our city, I want to give thanks to those who are supporting and getting a little bit more official like. Yeah, we're going to get into it. You already know what the topic is going to be tonight, but we're going to get into it. Chanel, welcome. I'd like to give support, thanks for their support in this order of who supported first and all that good stuff. But D. Smalls, Sonny, Walter, Stroud, my parents, Jose, David, Aishon, and Lysandra, my peoples. They don't just say they support, they actually support. And I appreciate y'all. And when y'all receive it, hopefully y'all appreciate the extra I put in each package. Atlanta's in the building. I see you. Thank you. Alexandria, Louisiana, by way of Vegas. Right now you're in the Bay Area. Okay. Does that mean what's that? San Francisco and Oakland? Kafancha, what's going on? Welcome. It's Rep Your City time. Let them know where you're from, where you're checking in from, all that good stuff. Dad, what's going on, sir? Rep Your City, as you can see. This way. Let me know where you're checking in from. Yeah, Robert Bank with Chico's Ski Mask, really. Vaughn, a.k.a. Monk, appreciate you. I needed your assistance earlier today. As you can see, I was struggling. He said Slab Town is in the house. Appreciate you. This is Rep Your City time. Let me know where you're checking in from. Give you a shout out. You said Chicago, currently in College Park, Georgia. Okay, okay. So we're definitely going to get into this. I'm trying to allow people time to get in. You know, some people are, drag their feet last second. I had a couple people. Oh, while I'm talking about this or waiting for people to come in, I've seen people say this on their videos and make mention of things where it's like they're always talking about, man, my haters are really out here and this, that, and other. And I'm like, are they really doing that just to get people to feel sorry for them? And are they really getting hit up by that many haters? I don't know. Usually I was pretty sure about it, but it's amazing how many people I run across on a daily basis who look me dead in the eye and say, hey, man, I love what you're doing. But secretly, they actually hate what I'm doing. I mean, they really, you could tell almost like you catch them off guard, or like they really don't like any progress you've made. And they're actually wishing for your downfall. But they're not going to say it. They're just going to look in your eye like, hey, yeah, hope you do great. Not really. And I just had to say that. I've been running to that this last couple of weeks. Now, on the flip side of that, there's been a couple of guys that I thought were, haters, turned out to be bigger supporters. It's kind of weird. So that as well. Norman, what's going on? Um, but hopefully, I know you're going to be here contributing, Monk. You know, it is a pleasure conversing with people who have an intellect and are able to, hang in the conversation, if you know what I mean. Mississippi watching from Las Vegas. All right. That's right. You said, I forget the city you said in Mississippi. But yeah, Mississippi's in the building. Yeah, those are undercover haters. Yeah, like I was like, wow, really, really, dude. So time's up on the representing. Rep Your City has closed, and we are going to go to. I'm not sure which one I want to use. Maybe this one. Maybe do something like that. What y'all think about that? Cleveland, Mississippi. I was like, yeah, Cleveland, not thinking Ohio, but yeah, Cleveland, Mississippi. Today was definitely wild, yo. Today was definitely wild. So that's crabs in the bucket syndrome. Used to let us fuel to fly higher. I appreciate it, because speaking of that, I had a individual that I kicked myself because I'm like, I think they understand what I'm saying, and they really don't. And it took my boy Monk to be like, look, why are you still responding? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I was like, I think they can get it if I just say one more thing. Nah, they're not going to get it. Um, you say you do have your haters, but you have some that doesn't agree with stuff. We wouldn't be human if we didn't have different opinions. Absolutely, and don't give me don't mistake me for when I say haters and confused with people don't agree. That's totally different. We can agree, we can disagree all day long. Yeah, she did, and she caught me slipping because the way she worded it was like, I just really want to understand, and that's not what she wanted to do. She wanted to impose her will, or she thought she could do, and it didn't work. But yeah, so Lysandra, I'm not talking about people who don't have the same opinion, who don't like. I care less if you don't like what my opinion is versus yours. When I'm saying haters is like if someone was gonna ask you something about me, they'd be like, "Nah, don't mess with that dude. Nah, he's blah blah blah." It's like, yes, if there's 10 things, I'm pretty sure one or two things we're not gonna agree on. How about focus on the 8 that you do? You know what I mean? But to go out of your way to like badmouth somebody because you disagree with the 2 things, that's where I say that's coming in the hater part. Ricky, aka Smiley, Gunter Man Gunter. Appreciate you coming in here. We got a wild one for you. Brace for impact. Thank you. She was straight hating because I mean she asked the question as if she wanted to understand, and I gave her all the stuff, and then she had the nerve to insult me. And it's weird because I've said this on other shows. It was like the people who ain't got no man. Let me be specific. The women, they ain't got no man. Swear they're the biggest relationship experts. Like you ain't got nobody, but you gonna tell me I'm bitter and I'm resentful, and some woman must have hurt me. That's why I'm saying these things, or you know what I mean. Yeah, because I mean the post had nothing to do with it. It wasn't like I'll say, hey, a one-sided bias. Women treat your men better. It was like women and men. You're a team. You help her, she helps you. You're down, she picks you up. She's down, you pick her up. It's a team. Teamwork. How it got to that? Now granted, I did say, because somebody was like, why is it that so hard to understand? And I mentioned Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey have these women and men thinking the opposite. So, but it was a straight comment. You know what I mean? Exactly. There was nothing bitter about the post, but she didn't like me making fun of her Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey because she loves them. And there's a lot of people who are so fanatical about Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey. I'm doing good, Rick. Appreciate you coming in here. Welcome. Look forward to tomorrow. If we're still having the chat tomorrow, 10 o'clock. I got some other things going on Saturday, too. I got to keep that on schedule. Yeah, she went crazy with it. I'm like, 5 responses in, Monk had to check me like, why are you still in this? I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, let me back up. Yeah. Because I'm like, I mean, I even try to invite you into it a little bit. I'm like, do you see what I'm doing? Like, this is, I didn't make this up. Like, I'm not making this up. Okay, appreciate that, Rick. And I'm still working on that. Because, a part of me is like, I want to help somebody who just may not know. Never been exposed to it. Maybe I'm that person. A lot of times I'm not that person. I'm really not that person. And I got to do better at recognizing that and going, I'm not even worried if they say anything. I'm going to keep it moving. Like that corny dude. And like you said, this is a perfect example of I'm not picking on just females. That corny dude, Larry, just as corny as ever. Oh, I when I check him on it, he's like, oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. I mean both men and women. But you didn't type it. So say what you mean and mean what you say. But then it's like he'll go on the same thing. It's like that's the first thing they go to. Oh, you must hate women. Oh, a woman must have hurt you. That's why you're saying these things. But when you say men need to step up, you're not hurt. Men need to step up. You're not bitter and, resentful of the male gender. Nah, it's all good. I try. That's a true opinion of a person who hates someone who knows themselves and what they want for their lives. Absolutely. And I just got to do better. I have no excuses for it, and I appreciate Monk being an accountability partner, like, hey, bruh, let it go. Let it go. Hey, invite his behind in here. See if he's available. And the rest of the crew. But trying to see where everybody's at. I'm about to get started. Y'all know from the post today, the topic tonight is racism exposed. I've touched this a little bit in the past on past shows and whatnot. Diet racism, traits of a real man. He's like, yeah. I'm gonna debate my equals. Right, exactly. D Smalls is in the building. Oh yeah, because he ain't got no bowling. I appreciate you, man. There's a lot of things that, because nobody is racist at this point. Nobody is like, okay, yeah, that was racist. Everything gets explained away. I have plenty of buddies who are Republicans, and for the most part, all of them are racist. Now, they smile on my face all day long, but all of them are racist. They tell themselves they're not racist because they have conversations with me. They say they're not racist because they put on a poker face when they're talking to me. But when people will switch from saying, hey, brother, I love you, and then when Kaepernick kneeled, ready to fight, you know what I mean? Yet we have white people armed to the teeth rebelling against this stay-at-home order. They ain't got no problem with that. When they talk about, oh, they care about this country so much, don't disrespect the flag, but Kid Rock puts on, what was it, makes a t-shirt out of a flag or some underwear or some pants or something, that's okay. He's not disrespecting the flag. Just in Brunswick, Georgia, there's a father and son murdering team who killed a black guy jogging, and no arrests. And the storyline is it was self-defense. Now, this man is jogging, and they got in the trucks after calling 911, claiming this guy was, running from a house, to shoot him dead after claiming when they approached him that he turned around and aggressively attacked them, and so they had to defend their lives, even though they were sitting in their own house and should have stayed there. Come on. Help me out. Appreciate that, Rick, for tagging him in that. So, and, to get back to the Republican thing is like, the purpose of this show today is to give you tools to identify. What you do with those tools is on you. Or what you do with the information after you use these tools is on you. But tools to identify racist people and the normal conversation. Because just like I say with man hate, racism has gotten so popular or so common, it's like everyday language. People don't even realize they're doing racist stuff, to include me. You're like, oh, man, I shouldn't have said that. Like, why would I even say that? Okay, go ahead. You say you got a question pertaining to my buddies. I think that plays. They're combined. You said, could they be prejudiced more than racist? I think those go hand in hand. Because some people will put racist is only prejudice from a group of power, in power. Yeah, star athlete. Not too long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 2 white boys killed a black guy in high school and put his body in a gym mat, but their parents were deputies. They watched that. Oh, it was a suicide. They said no, it was an accidental. He accidentally broke his neck trying to get his shoes, even though his shoes are on top of him instead of underneath. If he was trying to get into the mat to get them, because somehow they magically or accidentally fell inside this mat. But we're supposed to be stupid enough to believe that. Um, he said they like you until they realize you're with the sugar honey iced teas. What do you mean, Vaughn? Elaborate on that. Yeah, that too. I think so. I mean, they'll tolerate you to an extent. Um, and to me, we have so many blacks okaying it that there's no real incentive to change this narrative. There's too many scary blacks that are like, it's okay. You can be racist. Um, Matter of fact, I'm gonna say it's not racist. Will that appease you, Candace Owens? Yeah. Stephen A. Smith. Oh, don't fine me anymore. Don't suspend me anymore. I'll say whatever you want to say. But they fired old girl because she was not gonna stand. She was not gonna back down. You know. Y'all know who I'm talking about for ESPN. Yep. But they will not be labeled thugs because of the color of their skin. Racism exposed. He said, I know what he means. There's a term that we use out there until you see you getting down. They don't want to do. They don't want nothing to do with you. Right. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. You said they expect you to let it slide until you don't, and then they're the victim. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I have plenty of examples myself where I've dealt with people who were rah rah until I checked them, and then all of a sudden they do exactly what Vaughn just said. Then they turn victim. Like, wait a minute, it's 12 of y'all and one of me. How are y'all the victim? Y'all expect him to go, okay, okay, beat me some more, hit me again. I wish one of y'all would. Um, so we took a big step back these days because so many people of all colors are standing up for races of all colors. Yeah. Um, and that's the crazy thing is like when you see, and I have to acknowledge, I seen this Trump hat. It looked kind of cool, and of course because of my military background, instead of it had Trump, and then on the bottom it said 2020, but each letter was like Tango, Romeo, Uniform, Mike, Papa. I'm like, that's cool. But then I look at the person, I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you Mexican? Like, wow, a person of color supporting Trump in spite of all that. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, that's where I say it identifies a person as being racist. It's like, and this is whether you're black or white, because blacks supporting Republicans are racist as well, too. You're racist against your own color. But if a Republican were to say, look, I am just not for the LGBT. I just can't do it. I don't support that lifestyle. And that is inundated throughout everything Democratic. I would have no argument for you. I understand why you're voting for Trump. You may not agree with nothing he said, but you just disagree with the LGBT community that much, you have to vote Trump. I would have no argument for you. But when you go a step further and be like, well, Trump really didn't mean that. Well, it's not really that racist. Or, well, he's just, saying stuff because he likes attention. All those excuses to cover up the fact that this guy is racist. And that you are racist as well, but you just can't admit it. That's racist. Absolutely. So I think we took a big step I just believe people are not as fast to call something or someone racist because they don't agree with or see the way. Not at all. But yeah, that's not the situation. I'm not talking about calling somebody racist because you didn't agree with something. Like I said, you might like Law and Order and somebody else might like CSI. Well, if you don't like Law and Order, you're racist. No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about Kaepernick is wrong for kneeling, but these white folks are not wrong for being a terrorist group outside a government building. Racist. You are ready to go out and lynch people of color because you claim that they don't belong in this country, yet nobody has a problem with Trump's wife. She don't belong in this country either. She married into so she can be a citizen. But somehow, white immigrants, you don't really care too much about that. You care about Mexicans or color, but not so much the European immigrants, the Russians, the Germans, French, English. They get a pass. They don't even get a question. Absolutely, totally disregarded my veteran status. Absolutely. And that's the thing that kills me about it, because I've had some people, the 90% of the people that get mad about Kaepernick never served. But you have the nerve to be like, I love my country. Not enough to serve. With your corny whiskey drinking behind. But, okay, you had to get your paperwork. I have a gay black friends that say that LGBT blah 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 is very racist. They just side with them because it allows gays to get married. I mean that wouldn't surprise me. Because I'm actually challenging. I said I'm still going to be a big part in the Democratic Party, trying to learn as I go. I'm never going to. I'm a rookie at it, so there's a lot of stuff I don't know about politics, but I'm getting involved. And like I said early on, all they're saying is women and children. They have nothing for the man, and I can't go to another black man and say, "Hey, vote Democrat," and they go, "Why?" I'm like, "Not sure. Hold on. I'll get back to you on that." The right privilege always get away with so many broken laws. 98% of Republicans are racist and bigots and tend to live above the law and then add to injury to insult no matter how much one has successfully contributed to the betterment of the world we live in, and to be looked at as less than all people who don't agree with their sick, hillbilly, neo-Nazi black robes. Absolutely. Because that's the thing. That's another thing that's a tool that I use to expose racism is when I tell them what I do for a living. Because they're ready to hear me say, oh yeah, I work at Publix, I'm a bagger. No disrespect to people who do that. But they're waiting for me to say some type of general labor type job. They're not going to say somebody with a certificate, somebody with a license, certified, you better pay me at a certain rate, or we're not having a conversation, where my degree dictates my salary. And they're the ones. Like, I went into Publix, and the bagger, and I guess maybe that's why I said it, the bagger, older white guy, saw me in scrubs, says, oh, you're a medical assistant? Like, nah. Not even close, dude. Nice try, though. And I'm like, I pay more in taxes than you make, dude. Calm yourself down. But it goes back to that Chris Rock stand-up. He's like, he's rich, and there's white people in his audience that wouldn't trade places with him. Racism exposed. It was a white veteran who told Cap to kneel in the first place. Exactly. But they'll act like you can't. It'll go in one ear and out the other. Them saying that. If you tell that to them, they still say, "Oh, somehow it's disrespectful." For real? So the millions of people who don't stand up in their living rooms when the national anthem is being played, are they disrespectful? Because you know dang well, I'm trying to keep it cool, they're not standing up if they're not in that stadium. They're not standing up in the restaurants and, Hooters and everything else is playing these games. They're drinking and having a good time. They're not taking their hat off, putting their hand on their heart. None of that stuff. You said racist, sexist, bias, all pointing fingers at each other. All this racism has to stop, and all the black Trump supporters, shame on y'all. Absolutely. Keita, welcome, welcome. Jose, welcome, welcome. Mookie G is in the building. Yo, get your boy, Tyrone. He said he gonna pop in. You missed a lot. You got to be on time. Light skin. But no. My boy Mookie G in the building. Comedian extraordinaire. Appreciate you, man. You said exactly there are videos of people showing what whites get away with more, and people still don't believe it. Absolutely. I mean, they always come up with these weak excuses like, well, you got to understand, or you're taking it out of context, or we didn't see what happened before the video started. Some kind of excuse to give them lack of accountability. So yeah, exactly. I see that too. Similar to the Black Lives Matter movement, protesting peaceful, we consider a gang or a riot provoking the KKK and Nazi rednecks, skinheads can gather and promote national terrorism and hate with deadly weapons, can march. Yes, they're locked and loaded. You know what I mean? We walk around with Skittles and iced tea, we can't make it home. And hate with deadly weapons can march and actually riot, but have no issues while firing their weapons in the air with threats. They're not standing up in the stadiums unless you count going to get beer. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But are they being disrespectful? Matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, Jose. It's like, if we go and look at all these games and see anybody sitting down, are you mad at them too? Publicly at that. I blame Pierce for being racist because a bunch of them believe that the white false patriot opinion on. Oh yeah, I mean there's a lot of them. Candace Owens is one of the main ones, but he's all the light skin hate. Hey, your mom was getting on you. I don't know if you saw that comment your mom made, but she was like, "You need to get some sun." Like your hand came up, man. It looked like Casper the Friendly Ghost. But these demonic clowns aren't going to ever admit they're wrong. Absolutely. And that's a problem sometimes with identifying that, because how do you know the ones that are just scary and don't want to speak up versus that are really all wicked? They brought out the military because they want to ignore police brutality. Absolutely. Any kind of deflection. Oh, you're disrespecting the veterans. I'm a veteran. I didn't feel disrespected. You find somebody, and there was plenty of veterans that were speaking up saying, we don't feel disrespected. But, we feel the disrespect for them. Kind of like Trump going to a West Point to give a speech, even though he never served. Like, what's your business there? Yeah, you saw it? Yeah. I was like, dang, she getting on you. So white folks can do all things black folks can't. Yep. And there was some other points I wanted. Let me do the commercial break. Yeah, that'll work. 'Cause it's down there.
We knocking out all bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.
Yo, Chico, expose these clowns.
I will. Absolutely. But again, I want to thank my 9 contributors. I count them. Yes, 9. D. Small, Sonny, Walter, Stroud, my parents, Jose, David, Aishan, and Lizandra for supporting. I have people who say they support, and I have people who actually support. And I love y'all to death for that. I got a gift for y'all for supporting me. I support you back. Tony, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you stepping in here. Rick got you in here, but talking about racism exposed. Do me a favor if you have not already, and I'm glad while I have it on my memory. Check out my website, freddychicoshow.com. Register as a member. That way you can be a part of an exclusive club that I will have things available to them, and you'll be able to submit topics because, like I said, no topics off limits. We're going to talk about everything on here. If you're not afraid to talk about it, neither am I. Mondays we do religious topics, Wednesday is relationship topics, and Friday is no holds barred. Current topics, current events, politics, racism, as you can see tonight. Trump dodged the draft. And, Rick, I see him. And even stood still during the national anthem. No hand on the heart, no respect in the flag either. Super hypocritical of this demonic clown. Absolutely. So I appreciate my homies in here, Tony and Rick, a.k.a. Smiley. What are y'all thoughts on this racism exposed? I don't think you said too much, Rick. And Tony, I know you just got in here. Let me know. Don't let the light-skinned folks in here say all the stuff, Chauncey, Truth Hurts is in the building. Welcome, welcome. Invite your peoples out here. Matter of fact, I think Brenda was out here a minute ago. I don't know if she's still here. So 2 members of Truth Hurts. Keita came in, didn't say nothing, and she left. I see how it is. She wasn't ready for it. And I can understand, because I actually had, I reached out to a couple of people to let them know I thought they would be interested in this topic. And they're kind of hiding. And I can understand this may be something that people don't want to stir up anything, because you may have to see these people at work the next day. So I understand. Or on Monday. But truth is truth no matter who says it. Jackson. Okay, you say you don't want to talk out of term. Basically, what I'm saying is that racism we're talking about is like this this guy in Brunswick, Georgia, that got killed by 2 father and son who claimed that they thought he was running from a house or a burglary. The Kaepernick situation, where people are critical of Kaepernick, saying he disrespected the flag, but it's really because he's standing up for black rights or black lives and use his platform to speak against it. The fact that there's no black owners in the NFL by choice, by design, not something where it's like there's not rich black people out there that could afford a team. They don't want anybody in their white man club. Although they do have that Indian dude, I believe, Indian in Jacksonville. Don't know how he slipped in, but definitely truth is truth. What's going on, Derek? Appreciate you coming in. Welcome, welcome. So did I answer your question, Tony? And just listening to certain white people that will defend to the day is like, instead of just saying, look, I acknowledge this thing is unbalanced. People who think that affirmative action yeah, is wrong or outdated or what have you. It's like 400 years, y'all have had an advantage. But you talking about 10, 20 years, we should have 400 years of affirmative action, is what I believe. 400 years. Because even after the fact, it'll be one thing where it's like, okay, hey, we'll stop what we're doing. It's like they continue doing what they're doing, only affirmative action is even in the playing field just a little bit. Because it's still not as effective at fixing the issue, i.e. police departments. If Ferguson is 90% black, the law enforcement should be 90% black. So, which on the other side, if a city is 100% white, then the police force should be 100% white. But they will actually bust in police officers to police black neighborhoods, black cities, and expect no conflict. He said, to white America, they are not down for Black Lives Matter, but they care about black workers matter. But they care about, okay. We have plenty of people who just want to kill a black person just because. So look at how many got clean away with it. The white female who basically is going to get maybe a couple years. She got sentenced to 5, but I doubt she served more than 2. Since 1619. Got you. So do the math on that one. Y'all let me know how much that is. I wish all black men would strike just one game, but unfortunately they get hooked into the elitist agenda. Absolutely. Absolutely. Stephen A. Smith is the main one. As far as that elitist agenda where it's like, hey, I'm getting paid a lot. Who cares about y'all? Even though it's scraps compared to what the white counterparts are making, they don't care. It's more than what you got. It's like if 75% of the NFL is black, there should be a whole lot of different talk right now. Because I'll bring up a clip from a line from the Temptations movie. Anybody came to see you, Otis? You know what I mean? There's the Drew Brees and the Tom Brady's, yes. But other than old boy in North Carolina, who's surprised the heck out of me, there's not too many white athletes out there that people are coming to see. Not too many. I'm just saying. What's her name was half white, for the Kansas City Chiefs. But Patrick Mahomes boy, said 401. That's what I'm talking about. 401. That's how many years we should have affirmative action. It's 401. It turned black in 1705 with the Virginia Code. Correction, plenty of white people wanting to kill black people just because. You should go deeper in that situation. They use the joggers, unrelated past. Yeah, exactly. And there's always something that's like, hey, yeah, he jaywalked when he was 7, when he, let go of his mama's arm and ran across the street, without permission. That must mean he's a criminal. All right, so that's why you killed him. Got you. You got the real thing down, getting down. That's a whole lot of rhythm going on. That's a song or something. I probably tore that up all out of frame. But the biggest problem in law and order is more justice system than police. There's more justice system than police. Okay. Fam, we got to let them be them and do whatever other race in America does. Support and do us. Buy us, protect us, vote on the local level, demand what we want. Absolutely. Absolutely. 50-50. It's 50 our problem for not supporting each other. And the other part where they're supporting or they're leading us to support. Because they get a couple of us to kill us to say it's us. So when it comes to shining or holding that carrot in front of some of us, they're going to say, oh, blacks don't unify. No, you were the cog or you were the interference that started that up. Almost kind of like reality TV. It's like, you think these people naturally hate each other? No. They have a script behind the scenes of like, hey, he talked about you. What? Roll camera. And set those things up all day long. And like, man, these people are really bad. No. 90% of that stuff is set up. And that's no different than blacks. Set up. I mean, half the time you hear them like, it's a setup. How did this, that kind of thing. So we be ashamed of hugging. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was so disgusted by that. Hugging her after she would not still, at the end of the day, admit she did something wrong. And admit everything. Don't admit just some of it. They're like, okay. I did do this. No. You went there with murderous intent. Period. And you say, I can get away because I'm a white cop. Period. You say that, then we can talk. But until then, you still lying. But I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? This man can't come back. 20-something years old, done. But we should feel sorry for you. Gotcha. Stop complaining. Stop buying their stuff. Absolutely. Stop buying the Gucci. Stop buying all these, what was it back in the day? Tommy Hilfiger. All these things that were saying they don't like blacks. Timberlands. Stop buying Timberlands. He don't like blacks wearing his boots. He said, I disagree. Police should be diverse. All white neighborhoods and police force means don't try to visit or move there. I just say it should be a representation of the city. Because, I don't agree with, keep blacks out of a neighborhood where they used to, charge you more money or say the house costs more to keep blacks from certain neighborhoods, but, charge them cheaper for whites so they can stay in the neighborhood. If it doesn't serve our community, that should not be able to set up shop. Absolutely, Tony. I'm with you on that. We need to make that happen. They should be unwelcome as I don't know what if they're not supporting the community. But that also means the churches too. I agree with that. If the churches are not serving the community, they need to be out too. Peace. No. But blue lives only matter when blacks are protesting. Franklin, what's going on? Welcome. Lies about not knowing him either. Yeah. When ultimately I think, and this is still speculation because I wasn't there, I believe she was upset with him playing his music and they had several arguments or confrontations before, and she was feeling herself. She didn't like the way he was talking, and she went up there and shot him. Then came to her senses like, oh shoot, what did I do? Let me say I didn't realize I was in the wrong because we live right under each other. That's the reason why I accidentally shot him. Because I didn't realize I was going in the wrong door. There's no way you went in that door without his permission. So for you to see a shadowy figure in the dark in a room you should not have had any access to, you're full of crap. I do dream of international. What? Boy, I really need to start screening Walter every time he says something. It's called Forgiveness Family. Yeah. They call it foolishness, where we're like, I forgive you for killing us, and I understand you're not going to get punished for it, and I'm basically saying I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that, homie. Not saying that at all. Black Lives Matter. And that all lives matter thing. Racist. If you weren't saying all lives matter before somebody said Black Lives Matter, you are a racist. And don't give me that crap about, well, we feel that Black Lives Matter means that you're trying to say no other lives matter. Bull crap. That's racist. And that's a weak excuse of saying all lives matter. Because you didn't all lives matter when the blacks were dying. You only said all lives matter when someone said Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? So when can I get a loan from my church credit union? Yeah, I mean, yeah, they got to support the community or they got to bounce. No, you're not gonna pimp us. You got, like they said, you have Asian um, or stores or businesses. You have Indian businesses. You have white businesses. Where are the black businesses? And are the black businesses going into the white neighborhoods, the Asian neighborhoods, the Indian neighborhoods? Or do you see an Asian neighborhood and all the signs are in an Asian language? I know when I go get my patches sewn in on my vest, I'm going to a Vietnamese lady. She does good work. But still, if y'all know Lysandra, my Georgia people, if y'all know somebody that's a black um, seamstress, black, what do they call them, dry cleaning, because it's in a alteration place. Let me know. Cause I definitely support black. Turn the other cheek, get your other cheek slapped. Nah, you're not slapping both of them. You got the first one because I was eating my Jello, but you ain't gonna get the second one. The business thing is the fault of blacks. We make fun of people rocking clothes from black businesses, making them go out of business. Yeah, keep Gucci in business. Absolutely. And I've never been a big thing on fashion too. So you telling me you doing this stuff, I got you. You know, I don't even know stuff that matches no way or the colors. So let me know. I'll support Carl Kanai if it come back. How many churches do you have in your town? How many have you sat down with and asked how they're supporting the community? Too many to count, Tony. Too many to count. They're on every block. I can do a live and watch like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're like, okay, what exactly are you doing in your community? But you're taking tithes every Sunday. Yeah. That's why the white sympathy card played at its best. The judge says being God, lying was why she hugged that woman. That's all BS. Absolutely. Don't agree with none of that stuff. Because they ain't hug O.J. Simpson. He was innocent. But they don't hug no men, no black men. No judge comes down there and hug anybody else. I mean, even the TV judges were like, we don't do that. And that's a black person kissing white booty. Seriously, what's wrong is you condone the racist, hateful action that judge. Absolutely. He said, being godly. 435 million a week donated to black churches, no hospitals, very few schools, Montessori, and no hospitals in our communities. No good ones anyway. You go to South Fulton and you go to Southern Regional. Pray. You go to them two hospitals, pray heavy. There has to be a line drawn. Yes, but there has to be a line drawn. Absolutely. And banks and credit unions. I would ask the question. Gotcha. I have no problem. I don't. You get to know me. You don't have no problem having that conversation. And I will walk door to door. Excuse me. What are you doing in the community? Why are you here? Excuse me. What are you doing in the community? Then why are you here? And come back with a report and let you know such and such church said this. Such and such church said that. I can tell you there's a dime a dozen how many churches are around here. I can't go 10 miles without probably seeing 50 churches. They're right next door. They're across the street from each other. He said, not just churches, but rich blacks, period. How many hospitals and prisons, schools, etc. do we own? Not one. Not a one. I'm going to look that up. I don't even know what that means. Esoterics. Hopefully I said it right. He said, learn esoterics. He said judges practice witchcraft. Ouch. Um, but Tony and well, Rick already did, so I appreciate you, man. Check out my shop. Let me know what you think. If there's something, I appreciate your support. And I got you. For your endeavors. I know you probably have some type of merch on your show relationship. Matter of fact, let the people know what you do on Instagram, Rick. That you do a ask you a question situation. I don't want to tear it up what you actually do on Instagram, um, and let the people know who you are. Hidden symbolism in plain sight. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of things that are like coincidental type things, so um, it's definitely something to talk about. Something interesting to like. Okay, there's things that people are so blind to or so in a sleep trance that we can say stuff and people will walk right on by it, have no idea what's going on. The zombies, the Walking Dead. Rick took off. Okay. Um, but I have not thought about what we. No, I'm sorry. Yes, we did, because you already know what Monday's gonna be. It's gonna be part two. Two. Man hate in the Christian church. Y'all don't want to miss it. Like I said, I just got a fraction. I just scratched the surface on the information I have. A lot of people are like, what do you mean? Just like racism. What do you mean there's racism? They'll go, what do you mean there's man hate in the church? You are probably the one I'm talking about. He said, but I blame people they hate on helpful pastors but support the bad ones. People raise up their own oppression. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that is ridiculous. That don't even make no kind of sense. Um, Similar to like the Tyler Perry, they love the bad guy and then complain about the bad guy. Like, are you looking to be abused? Like, what are you talking about? The bad guy is the most popular guy, and then they cry when they get abused. Like, that's not too smart. But yeah, I agree. It's kind of hard sometimes to differentiate the good pastors from the bad pastors because all of them have the same language. Like they're pretending to be the good ones. Like whereas the obvious sign because liars are not going to tell you they're liars. They're like, no, I've never lied in my life. Just ridiculous. But I appreciate everybody. Although Georgia is open for restaurants. Um, you know, be smarter than your situation. I'm not telling another grown person what they need to do, but you know, choices have good consequences and bad consequences. So choose wisely. Um, and you can't blame nobody. Well, they said it's open or whatever. Um, the knowing is half the battle. You know, you got how you apply it is the rest of that. That don't even make sense. You talking about Tyler Perry don't even let women write for him because he's all the woman they need that he needs. He don't need no woman. He got all the estrogen. Rhymes with esteric. No, he don't need any more extra estrogen. COVID-19 is racist. Absolutely. All them people dying of COVID-19. Yeah, tell them to stay safe at home. You know. So I appreciate you, Tony, for checking in. Check out my website. Check out the shop. Hook your boy up. Support your boy. Support the movement. Um, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody else. You know, you don't have to think like me, but you do have to think. You're never too big to learn. You're never too small to teach. Enjoy family. You know, get to know family. You know, for y'all who are distant and may not, you know, had the opportunity. Shoot these smalls. I'm like, come on. You know, but enjoy family. Enjoy the weekend. I heard it's gonna be decent weather. You know, I might have to get on the bike just a little bit because it was cold the other day. Cold yesterday. Um, and I will see you guys on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love y'all. There's nothing y'all can do about it. Chico out.
We knocking out all bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.